Hey guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber for Ging Cosplay, and today we are back again, guys, with Hunter x Hunter, episode 136. Technically, the epilogue of the camera end, or the next one.
I'm guessing because last episode felt like the end of the arc. Meruem died with Komugi. She stayed with him. He told her, well, after he found Palm and he almost kneeled to beg her.
He kneeled.
No, he almost kneeled. She stopped him before his knee touched the ground because she couldn't, her chimera side could not.
This is too much for me.
You know what? This guy is meant to be her king. He's meant to be this all-powerful being. To see him kneel, that's just, she's already broken the image she had of him as a monster who killed people because he came in with like, I don't care about humans,
world domination.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
Live my last moment with this girl.
Exactly. Like what he wanted was so simple. And he was just so innocent in that, it shatters what you imagined him to be. So that already happened, and she didn't need to destroy the king image too. So she told him where Komugi was. He asked to play with her, they did, and then eventually told her that since, he's been poisoned and it was contagious, if she stayed with him, she was going to end up dying too. And she said, you know what, I'll stay. I've never been this happy. I've never been happier. This is, what I enjoy, so I choose to stay with you and play.
If I won this match, what I want is to play again with you.
And he never won.
So she kept winning over and over again. Would have been nice for him to win at least one match, but it's better this way.
She granted him his wish anyway. She called him Meruem instead of Meruem-sama. So
Meruem.
That was so sad. I did cry. First time in this show, I did cry. So yeah, there you go. He died in her arms, and then she followed eventually. And the world is trying to recover from all this. Netero left a will. So he left instructions as to who's going to follow, who's going to become chairman after him and stuff like that. So they're going to rebuild a little bit. They're going to try to deal with what's left, deal with the chimeras that are still out there. They're going to have to answer to the higher-ups a little bit about what's going on and what happened at the palace. I'm talking about our gang. But Morel is just like, we did our job. We're professionals. We're in the field. Like, we're going through the shit. So you don't have the right to judge us or put us on the ground and stuff. So hopefully they don't face consequences for that bureaucracy bullshit. I don't even know if that's an actual English word. It's a French word.
Administration.
Yeah. Anyway, administration bullshit. That makes sense. But yeah, we need to see what happens to Gon. What happened to how is he gonna cope from what he did with the Neferpito. How is Kirua dealing, because he went through some emotional shit too at the palace. His Nuv gonna get his hair back eventually.
Maybe we die.
No, he's just bald now, like he lost his hair.
You sure?
Yeah,
it's not just what?
No, last time we saw him he was losing hair too.
Oh.
He looked really bad the last time we saw him.
Yeah.
But is Wilfin gonna still be around, and is he gonna get his hair back? Maybe.
Give it some time, maybe.
But yeah, I do think this episode is going to be an epilogue, so let's just jump right into it and see how they end this arc. It's going to be tough. They're not going to top last episode for sure, but let's still go and try to relax after this. It was intense. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to know when these episodes come out, and check out our Patreon for the full reactions, you guys. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay. First of all, Cat is reborn.
By the way, I had forgotten, I didn't remember what name he gave her, or what name his sister had, but it's the name of his sister, so I'm just like, I kind of wish that Colt would also kind of remember and go back to his mom.
I think maybe a part of him remember, because he called her Raina.
Yeah, definitely, but enough to go back. Like his sister. Maybe. But that was so sweet. Like that first part of the episode where we see them move on with their lives, and the little girl just going back to her mom, who was so depressed ever since the beginning of the arc. Just that's deserved. I liked it.
Yes, she's different. She's not the same.
It's still
but
her.
The happiness to know that your daughter is still alive.
It's her soul. It's her memories. It's her. It just doesn't look like her. But like I said, in this world, they're used to blubs being in charge, and and they've seen weirder things. So
Yeah.
I love that, you know, she recognized her. She's a mom. She would know her daughter anywhere, no matter what she looks like. And I just,
I almost cried.
that was so sad, but in a good way, you know? And not just that, but the fact that she's also kind of awakening emotions. And that other chimera who... Bluster, thank you. Who was also repaying sort of a debt. Like, Ikago left him alive, and he kind of showed him a kindness, so he feels like he has to pay it forward. And now that little girl is awakening the emotions in him, and he's gonna get to live a happy life.
You can find a home with us.
Yeah. And like a lot of people died, of course, but the fact that, you know, they're gonna say that NGL is a reserve, sort of, like it's gonna be protected, so there's not gonna be any issues, and the survivors are, you know, seem to be agreeing together and where they want to go next, what they want to do, so there's no fighting over who gets to control, he's Gordo? Anyway, that place. And so, I mean, I like that the resolution seems to be going well, considering the state of the world and the state of what they've been saying, you know.
From what I understood, basically, they're going to say that the problem was because of politics, not because the camera ends. So
well, it was politics, if you think about it. He was a self-declared king who wanted to rule, so...
But if they want to live a peaceful life, they still can, because they're not going to be...
They're calling them magical monsters. Yeah.
Magical beasts, yeah.
Beast, which makes sense. Like I said, they live in a world where these things happen, these things exist, so you're not considered human, but you're not going to be considered enemies either. So monsters are being hunted in this world, I know, but if they don't cause a problem, like if they don't attack anyone...
Don't kill humans, don't eat them, don't wreak havoc, please.
Basically, it kind of sounds like an insult, but I feel like they've been granted the status of animal. So animal with that
magical beast,
but well,
not the same.
But like they're like deers basically, or monkeys. So like yeah, they're fine. Like we can let them live in our world. We're not gonna hunt them actively, so they can live in our world, but we're not considering them humans or anything. So. Yeah, I mean, if that's fine with them, considering how they were introduced and what they did, like, it's better that than
being hunted
extermination,
down.
I would say. And I mean, like, that's just officially, because let's be real, like, the Raina is going to be treated as a human girl in that village, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Colt is already kind of like a representative, like, he's taking care of that little Raina who's apparently Kite. I don't know how that's possible, because as far as we know, the queen never ate Kite. But then again, we don't really know what's inside that corpse. So maybe she ate the meat and then he just fixed the body together.
I would expect Nefertito to give a part of her...
to the queen.
Of her kill to the queen.
Maybe. But then that means that Kite's memory, his soul and stuff survived. So that's going to be pretty great news for Gon and Killua whenever they solve that problem. The problem of Gon being on life support.
Yeah.
So, okay, he is facing the consequences of that. Like, you cannot, in my opinion, that makes sense, you cannot do such a feat and come out of it fine. And I kind of like that we're taking time to focus on that problem. Killua breaks my heart, because he's such a good friend, and he just wants to be there for Gon. And yes, Gon he needs to apologize, because he did... leave Killua. Like, Killua said they were going to do this together, and he left him behind and went on his own to take care of things when, you know, he said it wasn't Killua's fight, but let's be real, he might not have known Kite as much because he didn't meet him when he was a kid, but
they were in this together.
He was in this with Gon, and he also felt bad for his death, and it was also his fight. So Gon taking charge and doing this, and also making Killua fear for his life like he did, because he was so reckless.
Yeah.
As a friend, you have to apologize. And Killua is just like, I think he's feeling bad that he couldn't do more for Gon, so that's why he's so determined on, you know, being the one that helps him there. I don't know what he's gonna do, but he's, you know, you saw his eyes. It's the assassin. He's dead set. It's a mission.
I know.
I don't know who he's gonna get. Like, if Nuv said he was gonna go get specialists and stuff, like, who is Killua gonna go get? I think it's a good opportunity to bring back Leorio, considering he's studying to be a doctor.
Well, I hope they maybe bring him back. That would be so nice.
Yes.
But in a way, I'm kind of glad that Killua's gonna be on that mission to save Gong. That's gonna be important for that.
I think he needs it for his character. You know, he needs a win because too many times in this arc he's been saying that other people save Gon, other people are helpful, and he's not helping. He's not doing shit. Like, he was crying like crazy when Palm was the one that could potentially, bring back Gon, and I was like, Jesus, that kid doesn't deserve all of these emotions and all of these thoughts about himself. Like, he needs to feel like he's a good friend because he is.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, if there's one guy in this show who is not a good friend, it's Gon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't say it better.
He kind of uses his friends for his own personal goals, and he calls that loyalty. Just saying. But I think Killua is the better friend of the two, so...
He is. Even though that he didn't know what a friend was at the beginning.
They both didn't know.
Yeah.
But Killua is learning, and he's still questioning himself because he feels like he's failing his friend.
Oh, sweetie.
But Gon is the one that makes these decisions, so it's not Killua's fault. But that's a typical response to trauma and to intense emotions and stuff like that. In any case, I'm rooting for that kid to, understand eventually that he's a good person and a good friend. So if that helps, let's go. But in the meantime, we're going to be introduced to the Zodiacs, apparently. Yeah. So, like, what, the strongest hunters, like the ones in charge all over the world?
Looks like it.
They need to be in charge of the vote.
Jin is a part of it.
Yeah, Ging. They need to be... he said they were going to be in charge of the vote, right? Mm-hmm. So, they seem like crazy characters, like crazy interesting characters with their own styles, their own personalities, so that's going to be interesting. But Ging being in there? Finally? Because I know the anime ends before the manga. I kind of hope that even if it ends sooner, we get a chance for Gon to meet his father.
I hope so.
It would be time. It would be the moment. We only have like 10 episodes, a little more than 10.
12.
That's not enough. We need a meeting. At least before the end of the anime, please.
Alright.
Or a glimpse from afar. In any case, it was a needed episode. I think after all the emotions and all the fighting and all the craziness we got, we needed a moment to breathe and to assert where we are now, where we're going, and we're opening chapters for a lot of other characters who are gonna go do their own thing.
Welfin is on his third part of his own anime franchise. He's going to Meteor City now.
He's moving to Shippuden.
Yep.
Welfin Shippuden.
He's going to Boruto. Actually.
No. Shippuden never happened for Welfin. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Ah, okay.
Or if it did, when was that? That was quite a disappointing Shippuden. So I would say what we saw from Welfin in that arc was Welfin, the anime, and then he's moving on to Welfin Shippuden, where he's grown. He's now his own character, his own person. He's established himself as a main character in his story, and he's got a purpose, finding Jairo and then ruling over Meteor City.
Honestly, that won't happen.
That won't happen.
The Valley Troop is still out there.
Although, we don't know. They are there. It's their city, but it depends on how they attack the whole thing. If they just want to bring discipline...
Okay, I'm just gonna say it in French because it's gonna be better in French. Voir qu'ils vont essayer quelqu'un pour me mettre
Don't have to scream. The mic is sensitive.
Do you honestly believe that the Phantom Troops gonna let Welfin take over Meteor City?
No, they're protective.
Their own place.
They're protective of their city. But still, it depends. If they show up there just to bring, I said discipline, but at least a sense of control over the place. It could go well. Maybe they're gonna become friends. You think? I don't know. I want to believe in Welfin. I want to believe he's not just gonna get killed by the Phantom Troop as soon as he gets there. We'll see. Yeah. But then that's only after he finds Jairo, so he needs to find Jairo first, and I don't think we'll focus on him in the last 12 episodes. We have too much shit to focus on.
True.
So this is it for this episode. I do wonder, I mean, looks like next episode we might have a new opening and just jump in that last arc. So we're gonna have to focus on the new lyrics and stuff.
So then the last arc is gonna be to save Gon and find a new chairman, basically.
Yeah, basically set up, bring back the world to a state of fine. Bring it to a level that's acceptable for the rest of the story, because right now, like, everyone is still freaking out over what happened.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, this is it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching it with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't, the next one will be on YouTube next week, guys. So keep an eye for it.
Yes.
I'm gonna see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.